Now, did you know, when it comes to what people are most ashamed of, the majority answered playing as an infiltrator. Yes, that is right. It is shameful to be role-playing as an invisible peeping pervert that is an infiltrator. That is why today, I am going through all their shameful behaviors and updating them in 2024. So let's get started. Now first we have NSO Infiltrators. Now if you are a NSO Infiltrator anxious about any fix, you can be relieved to know that its cloak is still easily visible in 2024. And now it even comes with a newly introduced bag that lets you second guess yourself whether you're even cloaked or not. Like, you know, there are some infil mains who always throw accusations because they think they're supposed to be completely invisible. Well, if you play NSO Infiltrators, you know anyone can see you just fine, so you never have to throw any rage tails. And that is why NSO Infiltrator stays in their original D tier. Remember that there is no S tier in NSO, meaning that it is just no. And next we have useless infiltrators. And just like NSO infiltrators, not much has changed as there are still many useless infiltrators in 2024. These guys, they just sit there to make you think that it's 2v1, but they're just there so they can watch you die. Like, I have not only one, but 4 friendly infiltrators here, and none of them even bothers to help. And that is why they will always remain at D tier, along with other stalker infils such as a spotter infils who screams at you out of nowhere, or body block infils who deceives you into thinking that you have 1000 ping. But unlike these innocent infiltrators, we have a fourth playstyle that is frowned upon: SMG Backstabbers. Now this is a devious playstyle where you equip SMG and sensor shield and sneak up from behind. Meanwhile, the group psychology prevents 2 or more enemies from ever checking the surroundings, so you can keep shooting your cheap shots. It is also a main usage of newly introduced BS Turbo Clock, which lets you run a lap against whoever's chasing you. Now they were always balanced around infils only having a short range full load weapons. But now underwater niche weapons, of all things, decided that it's not the case anymore. Unfortunately, they have been power crept into A tier. But when it comes to the cheesiest playstyle, we know it is of course bolters. Now if you have read any social medias, you know very well that these guys are what makes infils an infidel. They are the broken invisible snipers who just decloak out of nowhere and kills you in one frame. All the while their own squad mate watches them in disgust, and their outfit silently stops sending squad invites to them. Because these snipers are impossible to counter. I am literally free-falling and I still get nailed in the head. You know these bolters are hacking. Which is technically correct because all infiltrators are hackers. And so you know exactly where these people belong in this list. They belong in an foul pit. But as you know, these regular bolters are not even the most hated ones, as there exists its evil subvariants, CQC bolters. Now these are the war criminals of Oraxis who equip low-scope bolt-action rifles to one-shot people in CQC while hiding in invisibility in between, because they are repulsed by the concept of playing fair. Like here I am, playing the game as a normal assault class as the universe intended, but somehow these Infidel-Traitors one-shot me through a heavy shield because their broken weapons deal 700 damage. And that is why this playstyle will be nerfed 100% in the coming Infiltrator rework. Toadmen will make heavy assault great again in 2025. And they're also spawn room snipers, guys. And these guys, when they die in game, they actually die in real life as well. So I placed them in C tiers. It's the least I can do. And moving on, we have semi-auto snipers. Now these guys were always overshadowed by bolters, Just like how people are too busy joking about Alabama, they don't even know about West Virginia. But these weapons have been silently as overpowered. If you lead with headshots, you can pretty much kill someone as quickly, or you can just spam left click and it works because their damage model is experiencing an inflation. And if you don't want to overkill your victim, there is also a whole class of scout rifles that is still oppressive at the hands of invisible class. And that is why they also belong in the British food tier. But thankfully, to counter these overpowered sniper rifles, you can use the reworked nanowave armor, which now gives you 20% body shot resistance against them. 20% body shot resistance, which is not enough to save you from these overkill weapons. They are as useful as umbrellas in a hurricane. But on the contrary to these pointless nanowave t-shirts, Deathcam on the other hand will actually counter infiltrators. Some annoying infiltrator kills you, it shows you exactly where he is hiding, so you can counter the infiltrator by playing an infiltrator. And there's also a Buggy construction light in a different hex, which just indiscriminately light up any crouching infiltrators in 5km radius. These things will always have your back against infiltrators. And due to them, Stalker Bilibicos terminal campers have definitely moved down the list in 2024, where even a guy spamming A2G aircrafts all day will call you a Z-tier playstyle. Anyways, next we have Knifeman. And if you remember, these guys got nerfed a while ago so that a power knife can only one-hit kill on a headshot. Who in the world would aim for a head when stabbing someone? Nowadays, you can still use a generic knife to two-hit someone or run around with a banana knife. But unfortunately, the glory days of one-hit swordmen are long behind us. And of course, I didn't forget about the toxic one-trick Buggy. Everybody knows this invisible flash is broken. They just come out of nowhere, one-shot bunch of people, and disappear before anyone can stop them. And even if you manage to kill, it still knocks down your friendlies like a bowling ball. And I really don't know why, but every single person who made this has been extremely toxic and acts as if the enemy faction hurt their family in real life. And that is why I am personally putting them in a biodegradable waste tier. And finally, we have Infil-Wannabes. Now these are people you run into every once in a while, using implants to clog as a non-infiltrator. Which all sounds good on paper, but they are all awkward to use, as minor clock requires you to move and declock before you can start shooting, Nightmare 5 needs a CQC kill streak, and a Cover Drop 5 needs a good beacon placement. But most importantly though, if you're playing a non-infiltrator, why would you risk being mistaken as an infiltrator abuser, which will bring shame to your ancestors? And that is why they will be shoved into D tier. And so that is it for the infiltrator playstyles. And as always, all these tiers are picked completely at random, so don't let them affect your gameplay in any ways. Don't be afraid to play as a useless infiltrator. I mean, the whole thing is about to be reworked soon anyway.